Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be doing another Amazon KDP Q&A. You seem to really enjoy the last one that I did, so I've got 10 more questions I'm going to answer about Amazon KDP. So let's dive straight in. First question, what is the best KDP niche to publish in? I get this question all the time. There is no such thing as the best niche to publish in. The best thing about Amazon KDP is that there are unlimited niches that you can publish in, and so many of them can be good to publish in, because with Amazon KDP, unlike drop shipping or other kind of business models, we're creating completely bespoke books. So you can literally make whatever book you want and literally create your own niche. Now, generally speaking, the best niches to publish in are the ones with really high demand. So our customers putting in search terms to Amazon that are related to a given niche, and the niches that have very low competition, because ideally the more people that want your book and the less people that are currently offering competition, the better the niche is going to be. But in short, no, there is no best niche to publish in on Amazon KDP, but those are the things you can specifically look for. And don't forget to utilize the most important part of KDP, which is the fact that you can create an entirely bespoke product. Question number 2, now that's actually a really good one. How long does it take you to make money with KDP? Now again, there is no hard and fast rule here. It completely depends on the individual, how much money you invest, how much knowledge you have, so many different things. You can, as a beginner, get lucky, create a book that just slaps and does really well off the bat, but generally it will take a little bit more time. Now, I would say generally, if you know what you're doing with KDP, it can take you less than 6 months to really start making money. But if you're a beginner and you kind of invest in coaching, which obviously I'm going to say as someone who offers that is definitely the best way to start, because that can save you so much time and save you so many mistakes. I've literally spent over 4,000 hours learning KDP, making so many mistakes, and now teaching people exactly what you need to avoid doing and only teaching what you actually need to know. So if you're following the advice of someone like myself who's done that, which you can, by the way, by checking out my premium community, shameless plug, I know, but if you invest in someone like that, you can definitely start seeing results between 6 and 12 months. If you don't invest in someone, absolutely fine, but it will just take you a lot longer. Is it possible to build KDP alongside a current job? Absolutely, and I actually think this is something that a lot of people get wrong. They think you have to be doing KDP full-time to make it a success. I actually think doing it alongside a current job is the best way to do it, simply because if you have a current job, you have a guaranteed income. Like I say, KDP isn't something that's gonna make you rich overnight. It's gonna take a little bit of time before it really starts becoming profitable for you. So actually, ideally, if you have another job that kind of gives you financial stability and then also gives you a pot of money that you can invest into your KDP account, because if you have a job, you're gonna have less time to dedicate, but you have more money to put into the business. So for outsourcing, freelancers to do work for you, to invest in software, to invest in coaching, I actually would recommend having a job to build a KDP business, because ironically, although you're spending less time on it, you can actually grow it so much faster because your money can work so much harder for you than you can. So absolutely, it is definitely possible to build KDP alongside a current job. You just need to make sure you're investing your money in the right places to make up for the lack of time that you have. Question number 4, how many hours per day does it take? Again, this depends entirely on person-to-person basis. Do you have a full-time job? Are you doing it full-time yourself? How much money are you investing into outsourcing? That kind of things. So there actually is no answer to this, but personally, if you're doing kind of all yourself and you're not outsourcing, if you do maybe 10 hours a week, that is easily enough to really start seeing some progress between 6 and 12 months. Again, these are very rough numbers, but you can do that with significantly less hours if you're investing back into your business. So that's a very difficult question. There is no kind of set rule for it. Ultimately, it's going to take you the longest if you have no money that you're investing into it. You're doing everything, you're learning everything as you go. That will naturally take more time to be a success. Whereas if you have money, you can invest in coaching, you can invest in freelancers, you can invest in software. That's obviously going to take you less time. So it depends how much money you're investing into the business. But like I say, if you're doing 10 hours a week, that's generally a solid amount that you can focus on. Question number 5, what are the best KDP tools for beginners? Now, I'm going to give an honest answer here, and if you're saying for beginners, I'm going to assume you want free pieces of software. Unfortunately, in my opinion, the best KDP tools are ones you do have to pay for. Even if it's for a beginner, you can get free kind of like keyword research tools, but they're just not accurate, they're not any good, and you're better off just not using them anyway, because they can give you kind of false data and kind of lead you down the wrong path. So I do suggest if you're using KDP tools, you do actually need to invest into them. But the best ones for beginners, I would definitely recommend all of the tools on Self-Publishing Titans, specifically Self-Publishing Titans Pro, which I will leave linked down below in the description. It's by far the most affordable KDP tool for beginners and has absolutely everything that you need. And even better, it's the exact tool that I use and I actually teach how to use in my full free 3.5-hour KDP course. So you can get access to that and then follow along exactly how I use that software in that course, which I will also leave linked down below. Question number 6, this is a sensitive one and also a common one. How can I make sure I don't get banned? Now, being banned on Amazon KDP is definitely a reality. There are lots of different reasons why someone could potentially get banned, so I can't go into all of those in this video, but there are some really key things I want to make sure I get across. Firstly, I have first-hand experience with this. Do not make a second account. For those of you that don't know, I actually had an incident a couple of years ago where I temporarily lost my KDP account because Amazon thought I had 2 accounts. Basically, me and my friend both had our own Amazon KDP accounts, but we traveled around the world sharing IP addresses in really random places. So that kind of triggered Amazon to think, well, if there's 2 KDP accounts going to all these really random spots, they must belong to the same person. Long story short, they didn't. I actually lost my account temporarily, but I was able to get that back. So firstly, I would definitely make sure that you only ever have one Amazon KDP account. And if you're traveling around the world with someone who's also doing KDP, maybe just make sure you're using VPNs when you're sharing the same internet connection. Aside from that, obviously, very straightforward. Don't use copyright or trademarked content. It is a really quick way to make sales of KDP if you're using like celebrity names or something like that, but it will get you banned. There is no point in doing that. You're meant to be doing this for the long term. Also, don't use fully AI generated content in your books. Don't just go to ChatGPT and say, make me a 20,000 word book. Copy and paste all of that and put it on Amazon. That's just going to mess you around as well. So they're kind of the main ones to focus on, but of course, check out the KDP content guidelines because that is ultimately where all of this information will sit, but they're kind of the main and most common ones that I see. Question number 7, if you were to start Amazon KDP again, what would you do? Now, again, this is going to be quite biased because I offer coaching, but the first thing that I would do if I was to start Amazon KDP would be to invest in a coaching program or a community exactly like the one I have, where I can learn exactly what I need to know from someone who's done it on multiple occasions and helped other people do it. You can learn all of this yourself. It is possible, but it will take so much time to do. You'll make so many mistakes. It took me way over 2,000 hours of trialing and failing to actually realize how to make KDP a success. Whereas if you can invest just a little bit of money into learning from someone like that who will save you all of that time on all of those potential issues, I think that is definitely the first thing to do. And then I would essentially just follow the main things that they're saying. I would focus on medium content publishing because it's the balance between, being able to charge a lot for your books, but also not having to take up too much time or being too expensive to create. And then ultimately, like I say, I would just listen to what someone has already done themselves because KDP is a blueprint that you can follow, and that's exactly what I teach in my premium community. And then also having access to someone who's done it and you can ask them questions along the way. Honestly, that is the fastest way you can be successful with KDP, is following in the steps of someone that's done it and being able to ask them questions, which is exactly why I have my premium KDP community, which I will leave linked down below in the description. Shameless plug, but it's just the truth. Question number 8, why should I start KDP rather than something else? Now, in my opinion, KDP is one of the best business models that you can start because ultimately it costs you nothing to get started. It's entirely print on demand. Secondly, it can be completely passive. Once you've made the books on Amazon, they're just constantly making you sales over time. Now, I know passive income is a bit of a corny thing to say online here, but generally this is as passive a business model as it can possibly get. And you also have to remember that you can actually sell your KDP account. So not only are you making recurring revenue every single month, the actual account that you're publishing these books on is a seriously expensive asset that you can sell further down the line. So that is why I think KDP is the best thing to start, because it can potentially be huge and it just costs nothing to actually get started. Of course, you can invest into it, like I say, coaching, software, outsourcing, but actually putting a book onto Amazon is completely free, whereas loads of other business models require hefty amounts just to get started in terms of stock or that kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I think you should start KDP. And ultimately, it allows you to travel anywhere you want to in the world, making money from your laptop, which in my opinion is the best thing about it. And that ties nicely into the last question. Do you actually live in Bali? Yes, I do live in Bali. I'm from the UK originally, but I moved out to Bali full-time at the start of January 2023 because ultimately I'm able, like I say, to work wherever I want to in the world. Why would I not work in a beautiful place like Bali where there's so many other like-minded entrepreneurs that I can kind of get to know in terms of my network, and also it's just a beautiful place in the world to live. So like I say, I'm very, very fortunate that I'm able to travel around the world working from my laptop, but again, that's what Amazon KDP can do, and hopefully as many of you watching this can be inspired to do the same, because I honestly think I'm the luckiest person in the world to be able to get up and do this in this part of the world every single day. So yes, I do live in Bali, but you will see me traveling around to different places because like I say, I will come back to the UK to see my family every now and then. So yes, currently I do live in Bali. Who knows where I'll be in a couple of years. But yes, I do live in Bali and living an incredible life, which I am so grateful for. So that's it. Thanks for submitting all of your questions. If you do have any other questions you want to submit for the next Q&A, you can let me know down in the comment section down below. But I hope this video was of value and of interest to you. If you did enjoy the video, then please let me know by clicking the subscribe button and also leaving a like on the video. And I will see you in the next one.